you get your damn hand. Oh, Biff. You know, a lot of people think that was Crispin. I actually got to redo those lines in the fight with Biff, and the kiss at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and because we had to get those things from different angles, and you know, I didn't have a lot as old George, but you know, who's going to eat all that? Oh, I will. You know, that's not much. Oh, How's Granddad's Little Pumpkin came up in rehearsal because when they dressed Michael as Marlene, they put her in these orange hot pants and kind of stuck them a little bit. And I, of course, was butt level with her hot pants, and I thought it looked like a pumpkin.
Wow.
So I, you know, in rehearsal said, "How's Granddad's Little Pumpkin?" And Zemeckis liked it and they kept it in.
Yeah, I don't think fans realize how difficult of a job you had, because I mean, this was you know, out of the ordinary, right? You're having to wear makeup, you're having to glue kind of this film together and stitch
4 hours a day. 4 hours a day it took to get into the makeup.
Wow.
I think we got it down. We had a crack makeup team. Mike Mills was my main man, who was the foreman on Beetlejuice, with Nancy Vasta, Kenny Mayers, wonderful makeup artist, and then Marvin Westmore of the famous Westmore family, Sonny Berman of the Berman Brothers, and then Zoltan and his wife would come in and help. We had this magnificent creme de la creme of the makeup artists of Hollywood royalty, really, and all the designs by Ken Chase, who kind of butted heads with Bob Z and was fired on the first day of shooting. Nonetheless, it took 4 hours, sometimes as little as 3.5 hours, to get into makeup. If I needed to be on set ready to go by 8:39 in the morning, I had to be in the makeup chair by 4:30. Maybe after a couple hours, I'd get a quick breakfast break for half an hour and then back on to be colored. And well, you want to see the footage? I have the documentary footage that was cut from the making of Back to the Future 2, because once again, they wanted to keep me secret. I can't keep a secret. Just a moment, I'll share the screen here. There you have Nancy Vasta in the foreground, Sonny Berman. In the chair next to me is Leah, being worked on by Kenny Mayers, and maybe Marvin Westmore.
Wow.
Oh no, it's Mike Mills.
This is the process.
Yeah, so I had about 9 different pieces to be glued on the skull cap. After a couple hours, like I mentioned, I would get to go have a breakfast burrito or whatever, and then come back and be colored, and then applied Hazel's wig. They didn't like us eating in the makeup, so because it's, you know, it's like a mask and it's latex, and if you eat, you can crack the edges around your mouth, and if at all possible, eat through a straw, they would say.
Wow. Wow, this is amazing. And this process takes 4 hours?
Yes, and another hour at the end of the day to remove. On the last day of shooting, I saved my makeup and kept it on a head, and it lives in a Back to the Future museum in Rome. Oh no, not in Rome, in Italy. And here we are at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Wow, this is it. So this kiss is going to be with the makeup.
What a trooper Leah is.
Legendary scene.
Okay, so this is just a montage chronologically. This is me in junior high playing Charles Condamine in Blythe Spirit. This is from when I was up for playing David in War Games outside of here with Martin Brest with my big hair in 1982. This is on Twilight Zone movie. You see me with a carnation in my lapel as the newlywed next to Donna Dixon there. Here with John Lithgow and Charles Knapp. On the set of Twilight Zone, I actually got cat scratch fever from a kitten while we were shooting it. And so it was really weird the last few days of shooting. I was kind of sick all the time. Really love working with Donna. She and Dan, of course, got together and are still married. I Love Johnny. That was the I Love Johnny t-shirt there. This is these are shots from Pale Rider.
Yep. Wow.
There's Teddy. And I'm sorry, we're blocking Clint here, but this is in that blizzard matched with the sunshine shots that you can look for. Here is with the late, great Dustin Diamond as Screech's Guru, the High Geek, and then still with Mike Mills fixing me after lunch. The rest of these are probably McFly.
Wow.
Sometimes I'd hang upside down. I remember one week, besides the regular 12-hour days, I had a 19, a 21, and a 26-hour long day where I was hanging upside down. They built this contraption because it took a lot of time to get me down and put me back up. So they'd say, do a sit-up, and I do a sit-up. They put that under me so they didn't have to get me down all the time. Visiting with Elizabeth in my dressing room and with Bob Z. Right side up, rare shots. Here's that body cast I told you about, and that's that VistaVision camera that splices the film inside it so Michael could play the multiple roles or Tom could play the multiple roles. Now, we've had fans do art and send it to me, and that's what that was. I have a lot of art that fans want to give me, and I'm just so honored. You can see Mike's photo double and stunt double and stand-in in that shot. There's the pizza being served on the ground, and then I rotated. And there's the banana shot that was cut, fruit please. There I'm actually getting down to like 4 a.m. there, taking a rest. And a close up of it, you can see the right on of the makeup doesn't look so much like Crispin, but in this shot, this being in the background, it looks enough like him to fool the audience, and that's what they were after.
Wow.
And I'm glad he got his $750,000. He I'm sure his lawyer took most of it, but and that's actually not Michael J. Fox there. That's Kevin Holloway, his photo double.
Oh wow!
And this is from part 3. God rest one wonderful Wendy Jo Sperber.
Yeah.
And then we started doing appearances at theaters for screenings of the trilogy. This is at a DeLorean car show with Claudia Wells, Chris Lloyd, Bob Gell. And there I am in my monster truck DeLorean. I wish. This was from the first cast reunion, the Hollywood show in 2008, that Michael came unannounced to.
Wow.
He was on a book tour. And then other characters I do, like Lobster Man. I think the rest is mostly, here I am with Dick Van Dyke from Murder She Wrote, Diagnosis Murder. And us both doing our Stan Laurel impressions. And me as Stanley Laurel. And I think I have a shot here with Spielberg even. Yeah.
Wow. Is this 87, 86? That Spielberg picture?
These are all different years. This is the most recent. And that's me as Chaplin. Once again, I was at Universal from 87 to 2001. This is more recent as Charlie. Then I've been playing Larry Fine with the Three Stooges team. Mostly at charities and parties, sometimes fundraisers. For Iggy Pop, since his band was called the Stooges, we brought him his 60th birthday cake, hired by his girlfriend. As Groucho Marx. And this is from a film I did called Corked, which is now a cult favorite. Here playing Mark Twain in a PBS movie called Dreamland, Mark Twain in Jerusalem. More recent shots as Twain, doing Living History.
Wow.
And then as a Commedia dell'arte, Puccinella Citrullo, and as a fool for Renaissance fairs and different events. And when my boys were little, they're in their 30s now. So I do a lot of different characters. This is a short that's available on YouTube called Nobody's Laughing. Here, where I played Igor in Young Frankenstein the musical on stage, and as the hobo on the Polar Express and for the California Railroad Museum, another film called Savior of None. I did the Railroad Museum Polar Express for 11 years, and this is a short called The Traveler, which was really fun. And from various fundraisers, this is the first We're Going Back event in Los Angeles, where the fans from around the world got to go where we shot the movies. And we did our own Enchantment Under the Sea dance there, where you could meet the cast and crew and such.
Amazing. That was awesome. Yeah, amazing. And again, I know we saw some photos with you and Christopher Lloyd. Has he ever hinted towards you like he wants to make a part 4? I know there's been some excitement on his side, but have you guys ever secretly talked about wanting to make a part 4?
Well, Chris has revived Doc Brown numerous times for commercials and corporate events. I don't know, Chris loves to work.
Yeah.
And I think if the Bob said, yes, Chris, we're going to do a part 4 finally, or, he would probably jump because he loves to work. And that character has been very kind to him. I remember Chris and I have done numerous shows together, and he's that photo there with Claudia and Chris and I in front of the New Beverly Cinema. That was the first time I was really ever alone with Chris for any amount of time. I told Mike Mills, my makeup artist, I really love Chris's work. I adore his work. I'd love to meet him. He said, well, come out next week. We're going to be doing Hill Valley Exteriors 2015. Just you have to get up and, the middle of the night and come out. And so I came out at 3 a.m. Chris finally came into the makeup trailer and Mike introduced us. I said, it's such an honor, Mr. Lloyd. I'm such a fan. He said, oh, thank you. And it kind of ended there. We just kind of stared at each other for a few minutes. And I said, okay, I got to go, because it was so awkward. He's very reserved if he doesn't know you. And then at that reunion that Claudia, Chris, and I did at the New Beverly, Chris and I were in the projectionists booth for about 40 minutes. And we really broke the ice and started chatting. And I learned that he liked exotic plants. So when he was being feted up near where I live in the wine country, my wife ran and got this very lovely, rare B52 red Venus flytrap. And when I presented it to him, he was in shock. Oh, he loved it. And the next time I saw him a few years later at London Film and Comic Con, I asked him, how's that Venus flytrap doing? I killed it. I'm never home to water it. And I remember at that Comic Con in particular, Chris and I were having, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't that one. The next one with James Tolkien. James and I were having a coffee in the green room, and Leonard Nimoy came in. And Leonard and James had done a show directed by Otto Preminger. So Leonard came right to our table and sat down and started reminiscing. And I had to pinch myself. Here I was with Leonard Nimoy and James Tolkien doing their impressions of Otto Preminger and having a great time, a grand time. And I just loved it. And I wish at the time I realized that Leonard was an acting guru that I adore, Jeff Corey's assistant. I would have pried open the conversation more and really got to know Leonard a bit more. And he, of course, he was dead 2 years later. But nonetheless, these Comic-Cons have been a really lovely gift. And I've made friends with fans around the world, from Russia and Japan and, oh my God, from Spain. One gentleman from Spain has come now 2 or 3 times to see me, to sign me his guitar that Marty plays, to present me with a George McFly t-shirt. I'll see him at the end of the month in New Jersey. He said he's coming. There's these wonderful Team Fox fundraisers fans from France and Italy and elsewhere that I will come and do a Zoom or autograph pictures that'll go towards their fundraising efforts. it's really quite rewarding because they kind of are, they embrace me, and I'm like their good friend, and I love that. I'm a very much a people person, and I believe that the world has got to get along with each other for us to survive.
Absolutely.
On that note,
Well, thank you first of all for being, connected, with the fans. And I'm going to share all the dates of your upcoming conventions as well too. And
thank you.
me personally, I want to talk to you for hours. There's so much I want to just, pick. You ran out of all these wonderful films that you're in, your experiences, and I can't thank you enough for
I
going.
got dozens of more stories. I've talked for an hour, and I'm
Well,
long-winded. I love it, and I have a lot more stories, and I have a lot more work to do.
absolutely, we want to see it
I
too.
just wrapped a couple days on an independent film called Siblings. It was a very dark comedy, and it just felt so good to be back on set and working. I need to.
Absolutely, yeah, and we definitely want to save some room for round two. So some of your upcoming projects, we want to be able to sneak you back in here. And Jeffrey, thank you so much. I literally felt like I was just back on the set of Back to the Future. You helped me relive my childhood during this interview, and can't wait to share with the rest of the fans. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, and I'll see you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Take care.